My name is Timothy Napson. I'm a volunteer here at the Oral History Project. Can you introduce yourself, please, and the connection you have with this church building?
I'm James Quainoo. I'm an elder of the church, and I'm also part of the maintenance committee for the building. Yeah.
I understand you have carried out extensive research on how this church building was constructed. Who paid for it all, and what were your research findings?
Well, I wanted to know how the church came into being, and through that, I've come to realize that Lucy Colquit left money of about £10,000 for acquiring the land and building the church, which was finished in 1870. Now, Lucy was from a well-to-do family in Liverpool those days, and there were a few John Colquits who were working in the customs Liverpool, and through them the family acquired quite a bit of money, and they were well-to-do, actually. Some were living in Mount Pleasant, some were living in Greenbank, and yeah, it was a good family, well-to-do, and well-educated for that matter.
What is the most significant information your research has revealed about the church and the people of Kensington, where it is located?
Well, those days there were quite a few, there were a lot of Jews here. So the Christian Jews made good use of the church. It was a place for baptisms, christening, and stuff like that. Yeah.
What will you say you found fascinating about the origins of this church and the people who first used it?
One of the things that intrigues me is the Colquit bit, how they came in and built it, and also the Anglican people who used it first. I've realized that their way of doing things, I mean, the Pope, what do you call it? Their seating arrangements are not the same as we see today, and I found that very interesting. Those days, the pews, we call it, the seats were all static, one long static in rows, you know, which is not very common these days. Yeah, and I found that interesting.
What other information do you have about the Colquit family and any descendants?
Oh yeah, the fact that they did a lot for Liverpool is very important for me, and I think that family needs to be appreciated in Liverpool. They need to be honored, and I think through this project, I'm going to align the church to them, for them to be appreciated by the council or any authority that is in Liverpool. So they've always been involved in important things. They built this church in town, if you go to Liverpool town, between Wood Street and Seal Street. They had most of the lands there. In fact, they are named, they have a street named after them. But I think that's not even enough, because there are a lot of other things they've done. I mean, they were very interested. I mean, like the Colquits #2 was very interested in making sure the customs made a lot of money for the town. So they've done a lot, yeah.
So why do you think their name has disappeared from history even though they did so much?
Yeah, that's one surprising factor because suddenly after Susan and Lucy, you realize that there isn't much heard about the Colquits. There's no information about them, and it's one area I'm going to delve into after this project. Yeah.
So describe your research journey. Where did you go to do your research, and what was the process of getting access to all those records?
Well, I've used all the avenues that one is for, say, the social media, the library, and word of mouth from people. Yeah. For instance, when I read a few things on the internet, I realized I needed to know more. So I booked an appointment with the library to get more information. So went to the ancestry unit to talk to one or two people. And through that, we got a lot of information about the Colquits and the church.
So how has your perspective changed about the church building after you've researched its history?
Well, now I see the church as a very important building, yeah? Because the building of it involved very important people in Liverpool. And that's why I said, in my own way, I'm going to use the church in relation to the Colquits to make sure the building is put right.
Can you please explain more what you mean about put right?
Well, right now the building is at risk. So we have to make sure it has benefited from repairs and all that.
Have there been any challenges or obstacles faced in maintaining or preserving the building's historical significance?
The roofing needs re-roofing. The floor, the woodwork is mostly rotten. Now, most of the wood is rotted. The joists, everything rotten. So we need complete overhaul of the woodwork if possible. And then the flooring is also not very good. We need to do the floor. There's only one door at the moment because of the situation of the building. So we need another door, for instance, so just for safety reasons, yeah? The plumbing is not right.
Are there any artifacts, artworks, or documents inside the church building that hold any historic value?
Not really. The only thing I can think of is the piano behind you, which was brought by somebody who acquired it some time back. And when he realized we are here, he brought it back. On the wall, we have pictures of the pastors who have been here. And these are, I mean, when we went to the library, there were quite a number of pictures which were very important to the building. And all these are good record of what has happened here.
How has the church adapted to the changing needs of its congregation and the community over time?
Well, yeah, that's a very interesting one because only yesterday there was this midterm project, and I came into the church and I saw about 50 to 100 children playing around. This it's good for the community, especially for mothers who have difficulty in taking care, who have childcare problems. It relieves them from it relieves them a bit. And it's something that I really appreciated, and I think it should continue and come bigger in the future. Also, we have a food bank here, which is really, really helping people. In fact, it's through this I've realized that when we talk of food bank, it doesn't mean poor people. Some decent people also do come to the food bank, and that reflects the situation in the community or the country itself. Yeah.
Thank you very much for this interview.
Yeah, thank you.